Fun fact, here, this is the moon in Power Rangers, but in Zyuranger, the Sentai, it was a whole other planet called Planet Nemesis. It wasn't the moon at all. And this is Zyuranger footage, like this is not Power Rangers footage at all, those were Japanese actors right there.
Destroy the nearest planet!
Also, in the Zyuranger, those astronauts are child astronauts. They sent children into space to discover the planet Nemesis, the unknown planet they knew nothing about. Kind of crazy. But hey, this is Power Rangers, so let's talk about Power Rangers. In this, they're just astronauts, and that's the last they see of them. It's interesting. Yes, Kimberly's the first Ranger we actually see on screen. Ever. The first Power Ranger we ever see on screen is Kimberly. That's pretty cool. Obviously, I'm not going to be pretending like I don't know who any of these people are. Like, it's Kimberly, Jason, Zach, Trini, Billy, you know. I've seen Mighty Morphin so many goddamn times. I'm sure you have as well. If you haven't, then, you know, enjoy it.
Hey, fellas. Yo, Billy, what's up? Well, I think I'm mentally...
Oh, the original cast is so perfect, dude. Swear to God. I love Adam, and then Aisha and Kat are alright, and Tanya's alright, but man, this original cast is so good.
Yes, I like it.
Good.
And his Bandora Palace. Originally in the Zyuranger, it was called Bandora Palace because Rita Repulsa's counterpart was called Bandora. But in Power Rangers, they kept the name Bandora's Palace, even though Rita is called Rita and not Bandora in this. Interestingly.
And continue.
Billy was always my favorite when I was a kid, and it probably still is. You know, love Billy. Shut up, Billy.
I'm just...
Wait a minute. What has Billy got on his wrist? It looks like the communicator, no? Oh, fucking hell. Fuck. Is it? Is it just a watch? It might just be a watch, but it kind of looks like the communicator, no? I can't actually tell. If it is the communicator, then he's wearing it too early, but it might just be a watch.
Teach us how to beat people up.
See, in the first season, Bulk and Skull were the traditional bullies, but you know, as you'll see, they progressed into, you know, not so much traditional bullies. They kind of actually become friends with the Rangers in the end, by the end of it. Damn, that was actually pretty fucking good.
Overbearing and over-emotional human.
No, not that, not teenagers.
I never noticed Alpha has a fucking teddy bear in the scene, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think them getting teleported is, you know, cool enough for the necessity of theme music, but it's the first episode, I'll let it off. The set design for the command center is so fucking good, like, holy shit.
I just want to know where here is.
Well, maybe the answer's in these controls.
It's such like 90s sci-fi alien techno jibber jabber, and it's so great. Just like Alpha, like I'm so glad Alpha is a character in the show as well. Like there's no like Alpha component as Uranger to my recollection. So
Welcome, humans.
they really put a lot of effort into the special effects in this first episode. Like Alpha POV is pretty cool.
An elite team to battle Rita. Each of you will be given access to extraordinary...
Of course, I feel like I should address the elephant in the room here. Oh, you know, I'm sure a lot of you know, but some people might not. Yellow Ranger is Asian and the Black Ranger is black. Now, this was definitely accidental, and we can prove it because the actor who played Zack chose his color. They gave him the option of either Billy or Zack, and he went with Zack, the Black Ranger. So he chose his suit. And then, as far as Trini goes, the original actress Audrey Dubois was a Latina woman, so they just recast her when she wanted more pay. So that's how we ended up with an Asian actress playing the Yellow Ranger. But it was originally meant to be a Latina. So it doesn't really get talked about, but the team chooses not to be Rangers. They leave. They leave the command center and they're like, nope, we ain't doing it. No one ever talks about how the Mighty Morphin team does that. People talk about how Dino Thunder did that, how Operation Overdrive did that, but the original team, the OG team, were like, nah, we're good. Obviously, they changed their mind, but they said no.
Ay, ay, ay.
I've got a feeling there that Zordon kind of knows that they're going to change their mind somehow. I don't know, just the way he delivers that line gives me the inkling. It's hilarious, by the way. They say no, but they all decide to keep their power morphers. They're like, no, but we're gonna take this device you gave us, mate. Fucking hell, they're thieves.
How? Those putties will make space dust out of those kids. And the beauty is, if they don't...
I love how in Mighty Morphin they really take an effort to show you and explain how the monsters get made, and how the putties get made, and how it's not just like. Because in a lot of scenes, I feel like just like, we're gonna cast a spell and it's gonna appear. Or it just fucking appears, like, but no, it shows Finster makes it, puts them together, puts in a machine, and that's how it gets done. And it is sort of things like this that is what gave Mighty Morphin its success. Like, the attention to detail was next to none for a kids show, I think. I mean, obviously there was a lot of stuff that they didn't, fully explain, but, they really tried, I feel.
Don't know who they're messing with.
This part's hilarious as well, because they said no. They said that we're not going to do it. And she still attacks them. Maybe she thought they said yes because she saw them coming out of the command center, would be my only guess.
What was that?
But yeah, it is them getting attacked, which ultimately leads them to say, yeah, we want to do it actually, let's become Power Rangers. So yeah, as you can see, the only reason they actually morphed was because they thought they were going to die, which is hilarious. Now looking at the suits, I love the Mighty Morphin suits, just get that right out of the way. I think the diamonds are cool. I like each of their individual helmets as well, changed quite a bit, ranger to ranger. Notice how Trini's suit doesn't have a skirt like Kimberly's, and that is because, if you didn't know, in Zyuranger, the Yellow Ranger is actually a male. A male called Boy as well. His name is Boy, ironically. But yeah, Trini is gender swapped from the Zyuranger.
Stupid putties are getting beaten by a bunch of pimple-faced nitwits. They're pathetic.
There's just something so good about the old classic fight scenes from like the Zordon era. They just feel so raw and natural, as opposed to more recent seasons where it seems to be focused on like more on special effects or editing. It's just cool fighting. I think it's interesting that in Mighty Morphin, the Zords do no battling of their own before. They just straight up, hey, Megazord, form the Megazord. We're gonna run for a bit and then form the Megazord. We're in the Pterodactyl Zord's case, Fly.
Alright, guys, let's see what this baby can do!
I feel like the Goldar voice actor like really changes up what he does with Goldar. Like, makes it a lot more goofy and less menacing traditional villain than in the first episode, which is interesting to note. My main problem with, I mean, I love the Dino Megazord, don't get me wrong, but my main problem with it is there's no pink on it at all. Like, the Pterodactyl Zord just turns red, and then the majority of it is black and red, with only the legs being yellow and blue. I just wish I would see more pink and maybe some more yellow and blue on it. Damn, that was a real fucking tease right there. They get the power sword. It comes down. They summon it. It comes down. They get it. Then the bad guy just TPs away. We don't see the final blow with the power sword we just summoned.
Keep your identity secret. No one may know you are a Power Ranger.
I think it's pretty funny that Zordon just let them go off with the power morphers before telling them these 3 important rules. He was just like, oh, well, the rules can wait. The fuck?
And the world needs you.
Yeah,
Me too.
Someone's just gaslighting them so they stay doing his job for him.
Power Rangers!
So there we go, that was Day of the Dumpster. First episode, the episode that started it all. You know, introduces us to the characters, to the whole world of Power Rangers. In fact, how it works, the morphers, the suits, the Zords, the Megazord, and it showed us an insight to our characters. You got Billy, the nerd. You got Jason, the leader and the strong one. You've got Zach, who's the best friend of Jason, and brings some flair to the group with his dancing. You got Trini, who's the best friend of Kimberly and is still girly but is academic as well, so she can understand what Billy's trying to say and translate that to the rest of the group. And then you've got Kimberly, who's the the girl's girl, I guess you'd say, stereotypical girl from the valley or whatever. Um, you know, and that's about it. That's our characters.